Pro Football Weekly's Game of the Week. It's the Saints and Titans, two teams still jockeying for playoff position. The Titans have gotten to this point with Chris Johnson lately and Matt Hasselbeck early in the season. We know Hasselbeck carved up the same Saints team in the playoffs last year in the upset from the Seahawks. Do you think that Hasselbeck will play a bigger role this week, or are they just going to rely on Johnson?
I think it's going to start with Johnson. Clearly, in the Titans' two-game winning streak, first time they've done that in several months, it's been because Chris Johnson's ran wild the past couple weeks. So I think they're going to try and stick with that game plan for sure. But if things get tight, if Johnson finds he doesn't have a lot of running room, of course it's going to go to Hasselbeck, who's been able to make timely throws, but hasn't been quite as sharp the past couple weeks. Now, we know he was great in the playoffs, and I think part of that at least may have been Roman Harper's worst game possibly of his career. I don't know if they can count on that again. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of what the Titans do on offense will depend on what happens on defense for them. If they're able to contain Drew Brees, and if this game is tight, they're not falling behind, they can have that balanced attack on offense, which is what they do best. If they're going to get forced to throw to come from behind, I think Matt Hasselbeck could struggle. I know Roman Harper's had his issues, but throwing from behind is not a situation you want to be in Sunday if you're Tennessee.
Yeah, I think it was a surprise for a lot of teams. Early in the season, the Titans were airing it out. They're getting back to the kind of game we expected with Chris Johnson being the focal point. You talked about that defense, and if they can control Drew Brees or kind of hold that offense down, defense, I think, has played better than expected. Can they handle it against the Saints?
I think it's going to be difficult. They're likely going to be out without their second-best cornerback, Jason McCourty, who suffered a concussion in Week 13. That would be a big loss. They still have Cortland Finnegan, super feisty, having a great season. Altron Werner, who's been solid as that third corner. But without McCourty, I think it's going to be tough. They've got Colin McCarthy, who's been coming on strong in the middle of the field. Can he contain Jimmy Graham? I don't know. No one else has been able to this season. I think it could be tough for the Titans.
Did a little research on what the Titans have done on defense this season before we got in here today, and what I found out was pass defense, they've only given up 3 plays of 40 yards or longer this season. That's second best in the league. Only the Steelers have allowed fewer. So they do match up in that regard against the Saints. That's something they're going to have to do if they want to have a chance to win this game. And the other thing about the Titans is no player has more than 4 sacks on that defense. So they're going to have to do a better job of getting to Drew Brees. They don't necessarily have to rack up sacks, but they do have to affect him, bringing pressure, hitting him, knocking that offense out of rhythm.
Look at Dan doing a little research leading into the video. We appreciate that, actually coming with some information. So what information are you giving us in terms of a prediction?
I'm going to go with the Saints. I'm going to stick with the hot hand. I know the Titans have been playing better and they're coming off a victory, but I feel like the Saints right now are, if not the most effective team in the league, they're right up there with the Packers. They're rolling right now. I think they'll continue to.
I'm with you. Titans have found a way to beat bad teams this year. Certainly the Saints don't qualify there, and I think you hit the nail on the head. The Titans have not gotten pressure all year long. We know what Brees does when he does not, when he's allowed to sit back there and survey the field. I think the Saints take care of business.
Yeah, the Saints, since they had that disappointing loss to the Rams a few weeks ago, just rolling through teams at this point. Like you said, the Titans really haven't beaten a good team since maybe Week 3, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the Saints take this one. For the best coverage of the NFL, check us out at ProFootballWeekly.com.